Well, hello and welcome back to another edition of the Andrew Eborn Show, where I am delighted to be joined yet again by legendary broadcaster and Radio Laureate, the wonderful Mike Reed. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm very, very good, legendary Andrew. Yes, thank you very much. Marvellous.
Well, marvellous and legendary, always wonderful adjectives you always dig out.
It is, yeah. Everyone is legendary these days. It's wonderful.
It's always a legend in their own lunchtime is what they used to say, isn't it? Always a thing. But talking about legends, today we are celebrating National Hat Day. Did you ever wear a hat?
Yeah, actually, when I was late teens, early 20s, I had a predilection for wearing hats. I don't know why, but I did. I always liked wearing hats for some reason. And then I grew out of it, or maybe the hat grew out of me. I don't know. But yeah, one time, I think for the royal wedding, I think it was in 1937 or whatever, they said that because all men wore hats, and you look at the football matches, every man is wearing a hat, bar none, and they said that they were worried about broadcasting. I think it might have been the coronation. I think it was the coronation. They were worried about broadcasting the coronation because people might listen to it in pubs and they might be wearing hats, which would be wrong. They should have their hat off. And is that amazing the way they thought, and that wasn't that long ago, that if people were listening to the coronation in different pubs, that it would be disrespectful and they might be wearing hats and there's nothing they could do about it.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? And whatever the rules, I mean, it's about wearing hats in church and the weddings and so on and so forth. It's made the women, the ladies, the choices for them are just sensational. And men, they don't really pick that many hats, do they?
No, I mean, and they're not worn now. I mean, when you look at ties are almost being phased out. At one time, it was, an absolute must in the business world. You wore a tie. People wore ties. That was it. And I don't mind wearing a tie. I think it looks quite nice. But now more, even top-level businesses, prime ministers, things like that, have taken to not necessarily wearing ties. So we are definitely getting sloppier. People used to always dress and look pretty immaculate wherever you came from. Even if you were from a poorer family, the family would say, no, you brush up, you look your best, you don't let us down and disgrace us when you go out, So, that was always the case. We are getting sloppy. If you look at an airport now, and the Brits coming through the airport, oh my goodness me. I always travel in a suit, generally in a three-piece suit. And you're thinking, what a wonderful, upstanding Englishman he is, but it's crafty really, because you're not going to get an upgrade in a t-shirt and shorts.
Oh, you're absolutely right. It's also easy with hand luggage, isn't it? Because you wear the suit and then you're there and you get you can pack your shirts nice and flat in a tiny little envelope of a carry-on case. So it makes a lot of sense. What was your first hat? Do you remember?
My first hat, I don't know. I don't know, any old hat really. I just pick up anything and wear it. I used to like wearing hats. I still have a topper. And as you know, I spent a little bit of time in the Belgrave Square, or quite a few years in the Belgrave Square area of London for certain reasons. And I'd often walk through there to my car in my long black coat, a long scarf and a top hat. It's only in winter. I do it in winter. And if it was snowing, it just looked right. It looked Dickensian. And all the policemen on guard at the various embassies, standing outside, oh, evening, Michael. Oh, hey, look at that, the old top hat, So we'd always get the comment. But I thought strolling through Belgrave Square in a long black coat and a top hat was quite the thing to do.
Oh, absolutely. And it made you feel fantastic as well. I mean, my first hat was probably, it was actually a cap, I think, at school. I still got it. This is, I dug it out for you. Here we go. This was the Prebendal School, a bit dusty. The Prebendal School in Chichester, and we used to go along. We had to wear, to match my eyes, we had to go along with little shorts, which we wore, even when it was really, really cold, a bright red blazer, and this glorious cap.
Yeah, the cap often doesn't fit anymore after a number of years, though, does it? It's I always think that when I see people walking off the train.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, well, when
yeah, I think like that.
I like a boater. They don't always stay on very well. But when you see people coming off the train to go to Henley, the regatta, you see all these guys of varying demographics, let's say, all wearing, old custard-stained jackets that don't do up anymore, and little caps that have seen far better days perched on the top of a head that doesn't have much hair on it and stuff like that. Absolutely hilarious to see. Very, very funny.
It is funny. And the other thing, that there are certain hats that define people, whether it's the bowler hat or it's the fez by Tommy Cooper, you know, big fans of Tommy Cooper. And the top hat, obviously, because National Hat Day coincides with 100 years, can you believe it, 100 years since when P.T. Selbit first did the soaring in half up the road at the Finsbury Empire. Can you believe it?
Well, yeah. I mean, we were always intrigued by the sewing in half, and we wondered how it was done.
I just wonder why it was done. I mean, and the usual gags magicians say, "My sister is now my half sister," and all those sort of things. It's soaring in half is the easy bit. It's putting them back together again, which is difficult. But top hat, you have a top hat. You see, this was my very first top hat, which I was a baby magician. Used to have one of those with produce a rabbit for your National Pet Day as well. There you go. There's a little rabbit.
Well, top hats are always good. My grandfather had top hats.
Oh, really?
But he was also not a real comedian, but he liked to laugh, and he was very funny. I've got a wonderful picture of him at a ball dancing all the other people are dancing with women, and he's dancing with a wooden chair, as in if you can't find a partner, use a wooden chair. Elvis, he's dancing with a wooden chair. And also he had a collapsible top hat, which he'd take with him. I loved that as a kid. I'd always play with a collapsible top hat. And he'd put it on a chair, just someone's about to sit down, and then say, "Look what you've done to my hat." "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." But it was a collapsible top hat. I thought it was an absolute scream. I remember that collapsible top hat with great joy and great fun, great memories.
Oh, fantastic. They carry so many memories, these wonderful things. Well, Radio Laureate, it's over to you on National Hat Day then. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, let's have Roger McGough today. It's National Hat Day. What do you think of that day? Wear a stovepipe. That's the type Brunel wore. Or brush back your hair and like Fred Astaire, wear a topper. Or be a doffer like Mr. Ben, who now and then doffs his bowler to women and men. And if someone talks like that, they probably have corks dangling from their hat. So if somebody talks like that, they probably got corks dangling from their hat because he's an Aussie. Or slope off and take the time to buy an Alpine. They last forever and you get a free feather. And if you wear a boater, you'll be standing in the front of a punt. And to be honest, they don't stay on too well. Oh hell, why not buy a deerstalker or a balaclava? It's a heck of a palaver to find one to fit your head. It's called a titfer instead, a Cockney rhyming slang, tit for tat. Get that? But you can't wear a titfer to a bar mitzvah. Your best bet will be a trilby. Or if you're a lady, maybe a nice cloche hat, but it'll cost you dosh that. Or one of them with fruit on top, like Carmen Miranda, who danced the samba. No, I'm going to be a man, like Charles Atlas, and go hatless.
Da, 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 da. Brilliant as always. Thank you so much, Mike Reid. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Andrew.
Bye-bye. So thanks so much again to the wonderful Mike Reid. Join us next time for more of the same. Don't forget you can follow us on @Andrew Eborn, @Octopus TV, and don't forget to subscribe on all of the usual platforms. But for me, for now, see you next time. Bye-bye.